My friend Dustin made a server, and of course, he wanted people to join, and I was one of them. But me, being the evil PvPer I am, of course, I wanted to take over his server. The thing is, though, so many people have already done this. I mean, you've probably already seen a video just like this. But I want to try and do something different. I'm going to take it over using mind games, tricking my enemies into giving me stuff, exploiting, and best of all, betrayal. Welcome to the Realm SMP. Now, I was late to joining the server. My coder, one of my good friends, already had maxed out netherite. Meanwhile, I was just chilling with other boots. So, I searched for one thing. No way! A village! If you're going to take over a server, you have to get villagers. So, I spent the next 3 days hard grinding villagers, getting me maxed out diamond, food, pearls, and XP bottles. Meanwhile, a lot of stuff happened. There were two main teams, MadCoder's team and Dustin's team. MadCoder's team consisted of Shiny Doge and Cheerio. Meanwhile, Dustin's team only consisted of Math. But conflict between the two teams started when MadCoder asked Shiny Doge to join his team, and Shiny Doge accepted. But Dustin was mad at Shiny Doge, so he killed him in cold blood. So the two teams waged war on each other. Not even a week into the server, and there's already a war. Great. And another thing that happened was, like I mentioned, Cheerio had joined MadCoder, and me and Cheerio, being good friends, wanted to team. So, as my first act of sort of mind games, Cheerio would leak classified information about MadCoder's team. So, we were set. We had maxed out diamond armor, any resource I needed, and I had a spy. And things were getting even better by the minute. I decided to go to the nether, and I wouldn't leave until I had enough ancient debris for full netherite armor. So, after about an hour of mining, I had enough for netherite armor, a sword, and a pickaxe. So I got back to base, and then I turned my ancient debris into netherite scraps, and made myself full netherite armor. Then, using that armor, I decided to do a raid to get totems. But I did end up having some really close calls, and ended up using a totem. Also, in between all of this, I did two other big things. The first thing was I scammed Dustin out of giving me 3 stacks of crystals, and respawn anchors. The only downside was I couldn't get the dragon egg now, and if I did, I would have to give it to Dustin. But I have my ways to get it. The second thing is that, like I mentioned, Dustin and MadCoder were in a war, and there were mini fights every day. But then the fighting just stopped. I hadn't heard a word about what was going on, so I asked. And then MadCoder only said, "Oh, it's over." Alright, time to go big brain mode on you guys. MadCoder and Dustin were total enemies, and neither of them would accept defeat in their petty war. So they had to have a common goal, or enemy, for them to just stop fighting. But they were some of the most powerful people on the server, so they wouldn't even need something to work for, aka a goal. So that leaves us with one option, a common enemy. And looking at the teams right now, it's everyone except me and Dustin on MadCoder's team, and Dustin is on his own team. So that leaves one player left, me. And if you see my past videos, you'll know why. I'm one of the best PvPers and the best on the server. And I was getting stacked super fast. Not to mention, but I hadn't died once yet, not counting the totem. So they obviously saw me as a threat. And MadCoder even confirmed this. I hadn't done a single thing to them, and they already wanted to team up and kill me. So now I had everyone except Cheerio against me. But I had a plan. This would be my last but best mind game yet. I would set up a trap, disguised as a game show. Then, meanwhile, while everyone was doing the game show, Cheerio would spawn trap their beds and blow up their bases. Meanwhile, everyone would be doing games and whatnot in the game show, having fun. But in the last game, there would be a kill chamber. The floor would fall out, leading to a giant obsidian pit, where I would then go on to crystal them and kill them. So, I got right to work, planning out the build in a private world, and then mining for hours getting the quartz for the build. Now, I only needed one thing, a host. As I mentioned, I'm the best PvPer on the server, so if I were to host a game show, that would be an instant trap. So, I needed a game show host, and what better player to trust than my good friend Pyromaniac? But why would he say yes? How could he even trust me? I've killed so many, why wouldn't I do the same to him? He isn't gonna say yes, is he? Oh. Well then. Let's start building a game show. I got to work building the game show. But while building one of the mini games, I ran out of redstone, so I had to head back to spawn to get some. And I hung out with Math and my coder for a little bit. But then it was time for me to head back. And let me just play this little clip right here for you. As you can see, my coder was trying to follow me back to my base. So I developed a new plan. I would fake like I didn't know my coder was following me, and then lead him to the game show. Then I went to the cave to grab some iron, and then I snuck up behind him and scared him. Then he knew I was on to him. So he decided to investigate the game show I led him to. Then the rest was history. Alright, now for story time. So, Dustin, the server owner, had a rule where we couldn't keep people's armor when we killed them. And as you know, I killed my coder. So, I decided to blow up his armor instead. But then Dustin thought that was dumb, even though he never said I couldn't do that. So, he said to give him my armor. And I obviously wasn't going to comply with those rules. So, he ended up banning me the next day. I did grief all their bases though before that, I just forgot to record it. I'm sorry that I wasn't really able to do many mind games though. I had so many more ideas like claiming all of spawn using loopholes, going to the end and making it seem impossible to go to the end, but when everyone came through they would die to another trap, and so much more. I'm so sorry for not being able to do much of that, but hopefully next time I take over a server I can. But before this video ends, I just want to say thank you for watching to the very end. This video took a while to make and I'm sorry for the long wait, but now I'll be going back to weekly uploads. But for now, I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.